Hey everybody, it is your professor, your coding friend, and your party's tiefling warlock with a tragic backstory. And today we're going to talk about adding links to your website. So, the tag for adding links isn't as intuitive as some of the other tags we've been using. The link tag is A, so you have a caret and then an A and then another caret, and the closing tag is caret backslash A other caret. And so what that does is you have this opening and this closing tag, and then between it, you have the text of what your link is going to be. So that's what you see on the website is this text that's between the opening and closing tag. In order to get the actual location of where someone's going to go when they click on the link, it's very similar to when we did source for images, except for you're going to put that address into href, which is reference. So for an image, you're sourcing it. It's getting that information from that address and pulling it into your website. For href, you're giving an address for a place for people to go from the website. So that's the difference between those two. You're still using an address. You're still giving it information on an address to have information from, but you're sending people away. So your href attribute will look like this. href equals quotes, and then the link address in the middle. And again, you can have local or outside addresses. You can have a link to a website, a link to YouTube, Wikipedia, what have you, or you can have a link to another page on your website. So that's how you link different pages together on one website. You have your about page linked on your home page. When you click on it, you're in a link that sends you to a local file. And so this attribute is going to go into the opening tag, just like on images. I'll move my little face here. So you have a space href, and then your address, and then the text, and then the closing tag. Another important part of links is the target. So when you click on something, the target determines whether or not that page is going to open within the same page you're currently on, or open to a new tab or a new window. And so I'm going to tell you about how to open up. By default, it will open up within your window. And that's fine for if you're going between pages within your own website. But if you're sending someone to a different website, an external link, you should use tab, because that way your website is still up, and if they want to go back to it, they can. They won't forget who sent them somewhere, while still getting them to that new location. And to do that, you just add the target attribute in the opening tag, and you make it equal to underscore blank. And that tells the computer, go to this address in a new tab. And it will look like this. It actually doesn't matter if if href is first or target is first. It will do them both, but usually I see them where target is second. So you say target equal, and again, make sure you put the quotes in there, underscore blank. So let's open up the homework. So inside of Canvas, you have I'll update that. You have the homework assignment. Down here, you have a link to the glitch. Click on it. It will open up your glitch file. Make sure you are logged in. Make sure you hit remix, and then go into settings, edit project details, and change it to a file name that makes sense and will help you find it later if you need it. Video for, you can't do underscore, links, final. Save. Okay. So you have this file to start out with. It may start you out in about.html. So I have some multiple HTML files on the left side. You can see I've made, in addition to my home page, which is index.html, I've made an about page and a welcome page. And every new HTML page you have should be set up similarly, where you have the HTML tag that lets it know that this is HTML, that you're starting your HTML, you have your head, and you have your body. I will go more into these tags. I think next lecture is when I talk about these standards. But they're all set up the same way, because the computer needs to know these are all HTML. In Glitch, it will automatically default you to the first in the alphabet order, which is annoying. So if it's open in about, make sure you click index so you go to the index.html. That will always be your home page, or it should be. Make sure you do that. Okay. Make sure you keep this page up because we're going to be linking addresses, so you're going to need to copy and paste some of these links, so keep this up so you can have quick access to them. All right, so the next bit we're going to do is we're going to create a link with this address, and we're going to have it post the word press, and then we're going to add a target attribute so that it opens in a new tab. When I do these exercises, I am not going to give you the answer code in the slides themselves. So if you want to have this on hand, you should take notes. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a link to, it was this YouTube one, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to copy this URL, copy link address. I'm going to go into my index, and you can see here I've added a comment about add your code here, so I will do that. So to start a new link, it's A, and then to add the address, I'm going to add href, H-R-E-F, equals, quotes, and just paste my link in there, and caret to close that closing tag, and Glitch has automatically made me a closing tag to match my opening tag. Awesome. I'm going to put the text in, press. I also want this to open up in a new tab, so I'm going to say target equals quotes underscore blank. Again, that's just something you can memorize. Okay, so here's the thing with Glitch. If I just click it in here, it's not going to do anything because it's not, there's no new tab. Like this is what it's considering the window, and this window doesn't do tabs. But you can still see it in action. You just go up here to these three vertical dots, and you can say open in a new window. And that's going to open up a new tab for us, and it's going to preview your website full screen, and it's going to treat it like a real website. And then I can click press, and it's going to take me to YouTube in a new tab. And an ad. This lecture brought to you by TurboTax. So there you go. So if you're wanting to look at your links or you want to preview your website full screen, that's how you do it. Again, that's just these three dots, open a new window. So we can see that that works. Awesome. Okay. Internal links. So if you don't want to send someone outside of your website, you just want to send them to another page within your own website, that's an internal link, a local address. You use this all the time for websites because most websites aren't just one page. When you're doing a relative path, you're saying, or when you use this to link to a file, you're saying that something is in the same folder. So this right here, if you've ever used Terminal before to pull up files or to go through your directory, this is shorthand for look within my same folder. And what this dot is saying, usually you'd have like computer slash user slash documents slash grc365 slash my code. This is just saying whatever address my current file has, just fill that in, and then instead of index.html, do contact.html instead and go to that one. So it's a lot faster than typing all that out every single time. And so it will look like this instead. It looks exactly like the same links we were using, except instead of a full address, you do // and the name of that file that is within the same folder. So let's go ahead and do that. I forgot. I was told there's a cool way to do this. I'm going to do it now. Okay. So the one I want to do, oh, just in case, it's the about. Okay. So I'm going to add another link below here. So that's A, and then href, it's the same thing, but now I'm going to do /about.html, and then close that tag, and then add the text about me. Great, and if I were to click on it, it will link to a file within the same folder, and in the same folder here, you can see about.html, so it's going to link to this file, and you can see if I click on it over here, here's the code in it, so there's going to be a title that says about me, and some sort of image, so let's see what that looks like when I press. There we go, the title about me, and some sort of image. So we have successfully linked to another page within our website. I don't have a link to take me back to the home page on here. So to get me back to the home page, I'm just going to refresh my website over here, and that will bring me back. Okay. So you can make anything a link by wrapping it in the link tags. So far we've only been wrapping text, but you can wrap things like images or GIFs or whatever. You just put it between these two tags, and if someone clicks on it, it's a link to the next page. It'll send them there. So here I have just a normal link to google.com that opens in a new tab, and then I have this image. So if I click on that image, it will take me to google.com. And so we're going to do that. Don't worry about this, just copy it. We're going to make it go to, when you click on this image, it's going to take you to the welcome page. So here is my image source. So I'm going to copy link address, come over here, ref equal my web address, close it, and then inside of this, I'm going to give it an image as a child. So again, when I have a child inside of two tags, you indent one to indicate that it's inside of this other thing. Help you keep track of everything. IMG S R, oh darn it. Okay, sorry, I did this the opposite way. So the source for the image is this. There we go. The link that I want people to click on is ./welcome.html. There we go. Did that the wrong way. And did I say I wanted this to open in a new tab? No. Okay, good. All right, so we have our link that sends us to welcome.html, which is right here. And then we have our image with its source material right here. And then we've closed the tab over here. And I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to add my backslash at the end of my image. I'm going to give it an alt equals gritty. And then I should have a width and a height. I'm not going to, just to save us some time, but should. And then just to show you what happens, if I click on this, it should take me to the welcome page. If I look at my welcome page over here by clicking on it, you can see that it just has an image in it. So let's click on it, and there it goes. It takes me to the welcome page. And those eyes, man. If I hit refresh, it'll take me back to the home. So I've got three types of links. I've got a link that opens in a new tab and takes me to another website. I've got a link that is text that takes me to an internal page. And I've got an image that is a link that takes me to another internal page. Okay, you can also link within the same page. Wikipedia does this all the time. Your favorite PDFs also do this. So in order to do this, you have to put a label on something, and then you can reference that label and tell the website, hey, scroll up or scroll down to wherever you found this label. So what we're going to use to label our whatever, you can label anything, we're going to use ID. And so an ID is an attribute that you put in the opening tag, just like everything else we've been using, and it gives a unique identifier to that element. So here I have this paragraph that I've given an ID of top to, and then down here I've created a link where the the reference is to hash # top. And so what that does is it says, hey, this is an ID. It's not a file, it's an ID. So look for an ID, that's what the # means, and look for top. And then when someone clicks on this, it will go through the document, look for anything called top, and then scroll up or scroll down to there. ID is unique in that you can't repeat it. No more than one thing can have the same ID. So if I gave something else the ID of top, the computer would throw me an error. It doesn't want to do that. ID has to be one thing is called that. I could give it a capital T for top because it is case sensitive, but you can't have an exactly glyph identical ID for more than one object. So let's try it out. Inside of our index document at the top of the page, we're going to add an H1 because every page should have an H1. We're going to give it a title, our Gritty Fan Blog. We're going to give it an ID of top, and then at the bottom, we're going to add another element that links up to the top. So when I go back to my index.html, I'm going to go to the top of my page, which is the top of the body, right here. I'm going to say H1. I'm going to say Gritty Fan Blog. Whatever he can be whatever you want to call it, as long as we have it. Okay. So now we have the title of our page, and then inside of my opening tag, I'm going to get a space, and I'm going to say ID equals to top. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but double quotes or single quotes will do the same thing. I like double quotes, but it doesn't matter. Okay, and then at the bottom, I'm going to add another link, a href equals, and then # top. Again, that is case sensitive. Then I'm going to close it. I'm going to say top. And so if I scroll down over here, you can see I have my link down here, and if I click on it, bloop, it brings me back to the top because that's where I've put the ID. So this is a really easy way of allowing people to scroll back up or to link to important sections within your page without making them scroll all the way. So if people know what section they need on your website, they can just click some sort of directory at the top and it will scroll them all the way down to the place that they want to be. So that's links. Not too bad. So we've talked about the anchor element. That's the *A that allows you to add links to your website. The href attribute, how the computer knows where to send people after they've clicked on it. How you link to external addresses, how you link to internal pages, and how you can link within the same page. Make sure you check that you've done all of the homework stuff, that you remixed the example file, you added a link to another website that opened to a new tab, that you added a link to another page, that you turned an image into a link, and that you linked to the top of your page. Next class, we're going to review links. That's it. All right. Well, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time.